Hey guys, Adam Trigger here, wagertalk.com, here with another MLB winner. While you're hanging out with us, please like and subscribe, hit the bell so I can bring you an MLB play of the day every day for the rest of the Major League Baseball season. Sometimes it'll be a client play, sometimes it won't. This one, I'm not sure yet. It's a little bit later today, so I've got time. I have one client play up at Wager Talk for Friday. There's two I'm kind of on the fence with, and this is one of them, but we'll talk about it here. As you can see with the hat on, might give it away. I do like the Diamondbacks here. Went back to last season, and Arizona really kind of owned San Diego down the stretch. Big part of their sort of run to that wild card spot that eventually landed them in the World Series, was taking 5 of 6 from the Padres, in the second half of the season. And I wonder if this is, maybe what Arizona needs to sort of, get out of the little slump they've been in the last week or so. It'll be their first meeting of 2024. And, they've done well against the Padres of late. So, typically you're not going to bust out of a slump against Dylan Cease. And that's probably the one hang up I have here. Cease is a guy that it's not that I mind fading him, but he really got knocked around by the Phillies last time out. 5 runs on 6 hits in 5 innings. So part of me wants to say, okay, he'll probably bounce back. Like, his ERA 2.78, whip is 0.78. I think he currently has the lowest batting average against in the league. So all of those things would make me think maybe I want to come back with Cease in his next start after a bad start. But on the flip side, I wonder if there's something maybe mechanical going on. 3 walks against the Phillies. If you go back 2 starts ago, he walked 5 against the Brewers, and that's typically that type of command issue. And then, of course, leaving a couple balls over the plate that the Phillies hit out of the ballpark and hit hard, it does not always coincide with a whip under 1 and ERA of that in that range. So maybe Cease does have a little bit more regression in his future. But for me here, the reason that I'd want to be on the Diamondbacks, I'd be okay on the Diamondbacks in this spot going up against Cease, is Slade Cecconi, who's going to get the ball here for Arizona. This is a guy that, last year he made his way to the big leagues. He played a part on that team down the stretch, got to pitch in the playoffs, and he didn't make the club out of spring training. I bet if you asked him, he probably thought he would have been on the opening day roster. He wasn't, but it allowed him to go back to Reno and work on just pitch mix and specifically a changeup that's really going to, I think, make him a much better pitcher going forward and a very underrated pitcher going forward. So something Cecconi has done in the offseason and really implemented during his time at Reno is a third pitch, which is a changeup. Last year, more of a fastball slider guy. This year, he's going to the changeup, and not only has he added the changeup, but he's got command of this pitch. He's throwing it regularly. He's throwing the changeup almost 20% of the time now. So a very almost a completely different pitcher from what we saw last year. And anyone that sort of follows, AAA guys up to the majors, that's typically what guys need to do to take the step forward. 2 good pitches, you can live at AAA your whole life. You'll always have a job as a starting pitcher. But if you don't have 3 good pitches that you can command and throw for strikes, those are the guys that typically don't hang around at the big league level very long. Cecconi went and did that, now adding the changeup. He's getting swing and miss on the changeup. He's able to throw it where he wants, and I think that makes him a very underrated pitcher for the Diamondbacks going forward. I don't think he's going to go back to Reno. He's up taking the roster spot right now of the injured Merrill Kelly, but I think he's going to stay here, and I think as a bettor, he's someone that you want to look to back going forward because I don't think the market really has that priced in. So for me, I'm willing to sort of call those 2 equals, Cecconi and Cease, in this matchup. And when you do that, I think you've got to lean toward the Diamondbacks, who have gotten the better of the Padres of late and are in a spot where, I really think that they kind of need a win. And they will come right behind Cecconi with their top bullpen guys, where I do think they maybe have a little bit of an edge on the Padres right now, who are not very deep in that bullpen and come off back-to-back wins as well. So I'm leaning toward the Diamondbacks. I'm not sure if this is going to make my client card, but follow me on Twitter at TopFlightSI, because I certainly will let you know there if I do play this one. And make sure you go over to Wager Talk. on my free picks page because I'll post it there as well. So Diamondbacks is the lean tonight, and hope everyone has a great weekend.